Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for Twitter reaction to Celtic 1, Sparta Prague 4 in the Europa League. Got a lot to get through tonight after a really shocking result at home in Europe once again. Before we get started with the video, I had to tell you about our sponsors, OneFootball. The OneFootball app has everything that you need in a football app at the touch of a button, and it's all free wherever you get your apps on your phone. You can get line-up notifications, goal alerts, league tables from around the world. You can keep a tab on top goal scorers, top assist makers, Celtic's forum, although I don't think you want to keep tabs on that at the minute. I'm sure you know all about it. Whatever you want to keep track of, you can find it there on the OneFootball app. You can download it by clicking the link in the description of this video. As I say, it's free and it's a great way to support the channel. So download it and let me know what you think. We'll start tonight with @hoopslad67. Laughable defence, non-existent midfield, lacklustre attack. No tactics, no shape, no fight. Sorry, but changes required. Need to try and save the season. Neil's either lost the dressing room or has no idea what to do. It's abysmal again and again, and tonight is as bad as I've seen. Aye, again tonight, the manner that we lost in is just not befitting of a Celtic team playing at home in Europe. Excuse me, it's the same manner we lost that derby in a few weeks ago. Not befitting of a Celtic team playing at home in a derby. The defensive organisation of the team is non-existent. We're not learning from the mistakes in these big games again and again and again. We keep seeing the same thing. It's like watching the same movie and we know what the ending is. I could have told you at half-time, I thought the game was going to finish 3-1 at half-time, but with Sparta Prague 2-0 up. Little did I think it was going to finish 4-1. We're not in a good place. There's no getting away from that, and we're not learning. How long does this list of failing in big games, particularly at home, have to get before the club addresses what the real problem is? I mean, Cluj, Copenhagen, Ferencvaros, Sparta Prague. You can add the recent game against AC Milan, although you make allowances because they are a real quality side. The two most recent games at home against Rangers, you could throw a blanket over them all. They're all the same. We are losing goals in an abysmal fashion. Like, we're so open at the back. And as I say, we're not learning. Andy Boy 69, terrible result. Some players are just not at it. Full focus needed on Sunday, not to mention a huge improvement in every department. Not convinced a change in manager is the solution. There's going to be supporters that think a change in manager is the solution, and there's going to be fans that think there isn't. This is difficult to read all these out tonight. As I say, there's a lot to get through. People are not happy. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to summarise what Celtic supporters are saying on Twitter, and there is going to be a division. There always is, particularly when it comes to Neil Lennon, because I think some people can't separate the fact that Neil Lennon is a Celtic legend. We all love him for the service he's given to the club, both as a player and a manager, but that he's failing right now as a manager and he has to be criticised. That those two things can coexist, and I think for some supporters they act as if those two things can't exist. I don't think, I said a couple of weeks ago, I don't think the board will change. I don't think the board are going to sack him. I don't think that's going to happen. Certainly not after tonight. I know it seems like a watershed moment to lose at home in that manner, not just to Sparta Prague, but to a Sparta Prague team that are missing 7 first-team players. They're their third choice goalkeeper and a 17-year-old boy in midfield. It's bad, but I don't think the board are going to sack him. This is the board that botched the process of bringing him here. They didn't talk to other candidates. They gave him the job in the showers at Hampden. I mean, what do you expect? What kind of planning do you expect from the people who made that decision? Andrew Stout, no clear number one, a makeshift centre-back, another in disarray, an ageing captain, an unfit striker, or perhaps uninterested, an inept management team. Some good players amongst all that, but no positives to take from tonight. Aye, there's no positives to take for tonight. As I say, it's that defeat is unacceptable for a Celtic team playing at home in Europe. There's quality in the team, but it's over-reliant on individuals because it's not coached well enough. That's the underlying issues. We had 2 encouraging performances last week, but it was just 2 performances in amidst a season of shocking performances. So we didn't turn the corner last week. The underlying issues were still there, and we've seen them again tonight, and we keep seeing them in these big games, and that's what I'm saying. How long does this list of big games get, where we keep seeing these same patterns repeat and repeat and repeat before we say, do you know what? The management and the coaching staff are not learning. We're not getting better. We're not learning from the mistakes. it is a Celtic team over-reliant on individuals. That is the be-all and end-all, and that stops with the manager. Quinzo82, we go and get a proper manager, employed or not, this club should be able to attract the highest quality of manager. This club should be able to attract the highest calibre of manager. We don't have that just now. We don't. As I touched on with the process, Neil Lennon was the ideal candidate to steady us and close out that 2018-2019 season. I didn't think at the time, as a lot of supporters didn't, that he was the right man to take us forward and to really improve us, particularly in the context of European football. The board went with him. They didn't talk to any other candidates. And that's the situation that we find ourselves in. I don't think he's going to get sacked after tonight. I don't think the board have a plan of what to do if he does. If they do end up in a position where they have to sack Neil Lennon, I don't think they know what they're going to do. I think we've seen that the forward planning isn't good enough. We've seen that time and time again. We see it every summer when we don't make the Champions League group stages. It's not even at the stage where we don't make the Champions League group stage anymore, by the way. It's getting to the point where we don't get anywhere near the Champions League playoff to get to the group stages. So that's the extent of the forward planning at the club. So I don't think Neil Lennon is going to get sacked at this moment. I don't know how bad it has to get for him to get sacked, and I don't know who we would bring in if the board made that decision. At Sean Devaney 7, the players need to have a long hard look at themselves. Us fans would have picked that starting 11 from Sunday, a new low, struggling to see how we pick ourselves up. 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Hail, hail, keep the faith. Aye, that is 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Sean's right in what he's saying there. As I say, the 2 encouraging performances last week, but that's it. You think that's 1 step forward. A couple of people are talking about turning the corner. It's no turning the corner. We got a good draw in Lille, good performance. We beat Aberdeen at Hampden. We had a good first half, no brilliant in the second half. That's no turning the corner, and 1 win in 6 games is not acceptable. We've lost 3 games at home in a row for the first time in 30 years. It's never happened in my lifetime that we've lost 3 games at Celtic Park in a row. That shows you how bad it is. We've conceded 14 goals in 6 games. As I keep saying, how bad does it have to get? How bad does it have to get before we address the real heart of the matter, the real problem here? We'll finish tonight with at Patrick Murphy 89. Lennon has to go. We are continually making the same mistakes. We're ragged and shapeless. We are devoid of ideas. He's lost the fans and definitely looks like he's lost the players. And this season of all seasons, we are going down with a whimper. This was Neil Lennon's Love Street. I've seen a couple of people saying that tonight, that this was Neil Lennon's Love Street. It's not acceptable to get beat 4-1 at home by Sparta Prague when you're Celtic playing at home in Europe, particularly a Sparta Prague team, as I say, missing so many key players with a third choice goalkeeper in and all the rest of it. It's not acceptable. But I don't think this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of where the board's decision making is at. We need to go to Motherwell on Sunday and win. We need to win as many domestic games as possible, because we've put ourselves in this situation where there is no room for error the rest of this season. We're not playing well at all. There's so many factors and so many signs that things just aren't right. You can look at body language, you can look at the manner we're losing games in, you can look at the organisation of the team, the fact that individuals aren't playing well. And that, as I keep saying, it all comes back to the manager. He's responsible for leading the team, for setting up the team, for motivating the team. And right now, they look devoid of ideas and they look devoid of belief. And we can see that in the manner they've lost these games in recently, particularly tonight and particularly the Derby defeat to Rangers. It's not good. That'll do us for tonight. Like the video, comment with your own thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you on Saturday for the build-up to Motherwell. Cheers.